Let's talk about politics.
Trump versus Clinton.
Who said that? Who said that? Anyway, no. Today I'm going to focus on Montesquieu's take on governing. His publication in which he describes this was called De l'Esprit de Loi, which in English means the spirit of law. It sounds better in French. He published this in 1748 with the help of a saloonist and novelist, Claudine Guérin de Tencin. Ugh. Females were not allowed to think, and he himself did not think that they were equal, yet she helped him write one of his most important pieces. So how's that for hypocrisy? The book was condemned by the Catholic Church in 1751, and by the French because of its content. So, a bestseller. This work inspired many afterward, and if you hadn't noticed, it's what most governments are like today. Canadian, American. He spent 20 years researching and writing this book, in which he also talks about many other things like climate, nature, anthropology, sociology, and cultures. So, yeah, he didn't just spend it on government. To him there was three types of ruling. Monarchy, a republic, which is an elected leader, or a despotism, which is a dictatorship. He claimed the difference between a monarchy and a despotism is if there is a set of rules that contain the ruler's powers. Despotism being more of an absolutism, meaning no one can stop them. It is also stated that a republic can either be democratic or aristocratic by the range of power given to the public, more being democratic and less being aristocratic. He thought that a democracy was the best form, but things would need to be for the people, though it did not fully promise what he called liberty, because he thought only liberty would be achieved through his model. Through research, he figured that things should be more balanced among officials. By improving on John Locke's ideas, he proposed that there should be three branches of government, and that through dividing duties, no branch would outweigh the other. He based this model on the Constitution of the Roman Republic and the British constitutional system. The Roman government was split for the same reason, but only the British system was made up of a monarch, a parliament, and the courts. Whilst the Roman government, their parliament was more aristocratic. So, basically, the creme de la creme. The first branch being executive, the enforcers of laws. In his time, this would have been the king or the head of state, or whoever took over. They would enforce laws that were made by the legislative branch and interpreted by the judicial branch. This does not mean that if you broke the law, you would have to go to the executive, but it means that the executives would say that that act is illegal, and you would be punished according to the circumstance by the court systems. Although, in fairness, if you go to the executives, they might just say you're fired. So, in today's democracy, bills are made by the House of Commons in Canada, approved by the Senate, then approved by the Prime Minister, then interpreted by the court systems. The executive branch is also able to veto the legislation if it is not doing what anyone wants to do. So, in a democratic system which he wanted, it would be what the people wanted. So if it started passing laws that said it would be all-powerful, the other two systems would go against it. The second branch is legislative, the makers of laws, so Parliament. They would make laws in accordance with public change or a crisis in the area to stop panic or make life livable to the common people. They would make many laws to be approved and enforced by the executives and interpreted by the judicial branch, so relying on them to carry on the law to be. They're also an important part of governing because they help things run smoothly, though they do not fully control the government. It does not get undermined by the fact it controls taxes, so it can stop the executives from being overpowering by cutting them off, which sounds pretty great. He also stated that it should be made of two houses that may counteract each other if the other did not agree with the other one. So, you can't pass a law with only one of them. They both have to agree on it. One of them, they don't both have to make the law, they just both have to agree on it. The third branch is judicial, the interpreters of laws, so courts and lawyers. To lower the fear of lawyers, and the overall system, they are not to make their own laws. Instead, they go by what is given to them. They take what the executives have enforced and what the legislators have made and translate it and explain so that the public can understand all aspects of the law to their understanding, because it has to be interpreted. So if it's in a different language, we're all in trouble. They may also have to create punishment guidelines to variance of the law by a degree of offense. They will dispute any claims or arguments against these cases. That is part of their job. He thought that this one in particular needed to be independent in its work, so that it would be best for the public and the government. So it won't be enforced to say that those laws mean a specific thing. They go off of what everyone in there believes they mean by said laws. And that's it. Hello, this is Midnight Thoughts with the Gourd and the Gourd.